conversation with Shereen Bhan. British Airways CEO Sean Doyle has said that India remains the airline's second largest market and that they plan to do much more in terms of expansion and India's exciting aviation market. Listen in to the size of the conversation.
How important is India for British Airways today? And what's the aspiration, what's the ambition in terms of market share? Because it's still fairly small in comparison to the aspiration that you have.
Well, I think India is our second biggest market. It is strategically very important. We have a lot of links from a trade and a diaspora perspective. We think air service is a very critical catalyst for the growing economic relationship that's emerging between the two governments. But also we employ a lot of people in India. We have 2,500 people who work for British Airways here. And in fact, yesterday I had the privilege of opening up our new engagement centre down here in Noida. So we have a great team here. They're very much part of the British Airways family. And they make the experience in British Airways, very, very, I think, comfortable and fit for purpose for the Indian market.
So, you talked about this being your second largest market and a very strategic market for you. Now, what is that going to entail in terms of future investments, in terms of future hiring, and in terms of future expansion, from a connectivity point of view?
We're investing $7 billion in modernising British Airways, and that's well underway. You will see more and more of our new product on the Indian routes. Our Club Suite, which is an award-winning business class experience, is now on nearly every route, and by the time we get to the end of next year, nearly all of our flights will have that experience. We're also investing in new technology, so a fantastic digital experience, and of course we're modernising our IT infrastructure. But generally, whether it's the digital experience or the onboard experience, we've very, very ambitious investment plans. And, we're only starting in British Airways on this very extensive modernisation programme.
I'll talk to you about the modernisation programme in just a second, but let me labour a little bit more about the Indian market. And, if you look at the IATA data as well as the IATA forecast, India is being positioned as one of the fastest growing commercial aviation markets in the world today. From that perspective, what's the kind of demand outlook that you foresee?
I think that's obvious. Even compared to China, I think Indian travel per capita is about 1/10 of what we see in China. So the growth is going to be exponential. I think everybody will want to serve the market. I think it's a very exciting time for international operations into India, but also for the domestic market. But I think India is a very important strategic market for anybody who's serious about international aviation.